And could you talk about the improvement that you've seen so far, perhaps from Bacho and KJ Allen?
Yeah, Joe, been so impressed with both those guys. In fact, we have three returners in Kevin O'Banner and KJ Allen, and then also with Daniel Bacho, and they've all made huge progress. And I'm excited for you guys and our fans to just see that when we start playing games. But Daniel Bacho is one that has really just a different player than he was last year. And a lot of times in practice, he'll separate himself from the other players. He's a 7-foot guy that's athletic, and he's worked on his scoring, and he's shooting the ball easy. Worked on his jump shot, his three-point shooting, and he's just a completely different player. And I think everybody will be impressed and surprised to see his progress. And again, I've told several others, and I think our coaching staff agrees. I think that Daniel's got a chance, to play in the NBA in the next couple of years. We feel that he's improved that much, and so we're looking forward to getting him out in uniform and showing off his talents for our fans.
Coach, following off the growth from the off-season, on social media, there's been a lot of you guys with your summer conditioning. Have you really seen a difference in those practices and the different ways that you guys have been conditioning? What's been so special about that?
Well, we have the best strength conditioning coach in the country in Darby Rich, and he's such a big part of our culture and getting our guys prepared, not just physically but also mentally. And Darby played basketball at Alabama, so he's a strength and conditioning guy that gets basketball, and he's done a tremendous job getting these guys prepared and ready for our workouts on practice on Monday. I just expect him to have our guys ready, and our guys are in great shape, and a lot of them most all of them have gained weight where they need to gain weight, and so we're in better shape, better endurance, and a lot stronger when they first got here.
And is there a difference from year one to year two? Now, I know that we're going to get those special practices from your standpoint. What's different about year two for you so far?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about last year. We can talk about that because that was a great team, had some great leadership out of Bryson. So many guys bought in, but it's just a totally different team with had 6 or 7 transfers and a lot more older players. Half of this team is underclassmen, and so it's a little different. We don't have maybe the length, but at the same time, I think we're skilled in areas that I think we'll be a much better three-point shooting team, and we've got players that have experience at the combo guard or point guard position. So I think, and hopefully, we'll be more efficient on offense than we were last year. But I love these guys. They're working extremely hard. They bought into our program. I love the culture of this team. We went out and recruited guys that we thought would fit into our system, and that we're going to play hard and play together. And we've got 4 freshmen, and we love those guys as well. And all these underclassmen, we feel like have a high ceiling. So that's something for us to grow this team with.
Coach, can you talk about the addition of Amac and Fisher and how they've kind of settled in here in Lubbock?
Sure. Fardas is, he's big on the floor and off the floor. He's got a big personality. He's a great leader, and just great to coach. So he's fun to be around, and he's a guy that may have more skill than any big guy that's been here overall, because he can shoot the ball outside, inside. You look back at his resume back at Utah Valley. He was Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year in their conference, and even though this is a little higher level, just in practice, he's fit in well, and he's on the floor. You can just feel and see his presence. So excited about him. And then Elijah Fisher's he's one of the younger, maybe the youngest player in Division I basketball. He reclassified and has great credentials coming out of high school, 6'6", athletic, and he can really play 4 positions. And one thing about Elijah that we've been really impressed with is just how tough he is and very physical. And for being the youngest guy out there, he mixes it up well and doesn't shy away from competition.
And then what can you say about a guy who really gave everything he had here, Clarence Nadolny? I know it's sad to see him go, but move on to better things.
Yeah, we love Clarence, and we were hoping he'd stay. Clarence is all about teamwork and team basketball, and he was certainly a cornerstone of our culture. So we're going to miss that as much as him on the floor, but he chose to go ahead and go back overseas, closer to home, and play professional basketball. But yeah, he will be missed. But we're a little more top heavy on the guards than we were last year. So we've got a lot of new players and some with experience that'll hopefully fill in for Clarence.
And then just what message do you have for Red Raider fans? I mean, I don't know how many 45 days. It's getting close.
Well, Pete, we're excited about the future, and we have high expectations of this team, just like our Red Raider fans do. And we remind this group of guys coming in that we were 18-0 at home and had sellout crowds, and our fan base expects a lot out of them. And West Texas people want guys that are going to play hard and play together and show grit on the floor and represent West Texas the right way. And so, it's a tall order. We got to work cut out for us, but these guys have embraced that. And again, we've been really pleased with the intensity we've had in practice and with everybody's attitude. And I'm excited for the future, and I think this team's going to be able to compete with anybody in the country.
With so many new faces on this team, what have been the challenges of getting everybody to gel together, and how have they adapted to the new changes around them?
Well, I think for most Division I coaches in the country, especially in the Power 5, these rosters are changing all the time because of the portal, and that's just going to be a wave of the future. And fortunately, my background is mostly junior college, which I had a new team every year, so it's a little easier for me to adjust as a head coach. But the key is always going to be chemistry and getting these guys to learn the system, but complement each other and put the team first, and understand that if we can have a team that's unselfish and plays for the name on the back of the jersey, or excuse me, on the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey, and to play for each other and make those easy passes, extra passes, take charges, get on the floor, do all those things that a coach and the fans want them to see, then there'll be some great results. But that's always our challenge, is get them away from that individualism over to being a team player. That's why we feel like we recruited the right guys, and our character with this team is, I thought, as good or better than we've ever had here. And these guys are focused on what's important, and I appreciate that. And I thought we did a great job as far as our recruiting to get the guys that are actually going to buy into what we think is important.
Yeah, kind of bouncing off of that. When you have a year like last year where you didn't have that many guys in the roster, you brought in all these guys and have the run that you did, do you kind of go to that blueprint of like, we have a smaller roster this year, we bring in a bunch of new guys, and these are guys that can fit our mold? Yeah,
I wish I was smart enough to have a blueprint for all that. But, in this profession, you just try to get the best players you can, the ones that you can get and that are available, but at the same time, we do a lot of our due diligence to find the guys that want to be coached, and so we talk a lot about what they've done in the past, and talk to previous coaches and high school coaches to get those guys that do buy in. This team, again, the only difference, we still have a lot of new players, only 3 back, but this team's a little bit younger, and there's some strengths and weaknesses in that. But these guys have a lot of energy, and they're enthusiastic, and they come in wanting to be coached, and so we're. We see that's a real plus with this team, and I think they've made huge strides from when we started back June 1st to where we are now.
You mentioned the youth right there, specifically with Elijah. What do you think the biggest challenges are for a guy that reclassifies like that and is as young as he is to reach their full potential?
I think every level, whether it's going from high school to college, or college to to overseas, or to the NBA, there's always some adjustments there, and just no different in life. Those that can make those adjustments are going to be more successful, and with that, it's making it in a timely fashion. So, a guy like Elijah, he's got a high basketball IQ, so he's made that adjustment quickly, as has all of our freshmen. We're really pleased with, with Lamar's. Washington's doing great. Robert Jennings as well, and along with Elijah, we're excited about getting Pop back. He's got a high basketball IQ and has a great resume out of high school and prep school or in summer league basketball. And we think all four of those guys could play valuable minutes for us.
What have you been seeing out of Jalen Tyson, and how big was it for him to spend the time on the bench that he did last season?
Yeah, it was very fortunate that we could get Jalen at Christmas and get to be with us in the spring and be able to be out there working out with the guys every day, and that's gave him a lot of momentum, confidence coming into the summer and the workouts. But Jalen's a 6'6", athletic player that loves the games in the gym every day, a lot like Bryson Williams, can score on all three levels and has a huge upside and has been playing very well these last couple of weeks and really shooting the three ball well. So we're counting on him to be a scorer for us.
And you mentioned when you got him that Steve Green's been a guy that you've always wanted to have on your coaching staff. Why was it so important for you to get him on this team?
Well, I got too much criticism from you guys saying I need an offensive coach. So if I get me a defensive coach like football, I'll have it made. I can blame the offense on somebody, the defense on someone. But right now, Coach Williams and I are going to head up the defense. And on the offensive side, it'll be challenging because we got two big guys, two 7-footers to play, and playing them together is a challenge. But there are certain teams that have done extremely well in the NCAA, like Gonzaga, and so we're moving our offense around there to try to make some adjustments to get our best players on the floor. And we feel like with Bacho's improvement, he needs to be playing a lot. And Fordas is also a guy that's proven himself as a player. So excited about that. We're going to try to push the ball a little bit more. Don't want to defend it a little bit about last year. We did finish, I think, third in the country or third in the Big 12 in offense and scoring and in field goal percentage. So, but we're trying to make a few adjustments there to get us better.
Coach, what's it like having Malik Undingo back in the fold?
Yeah, Malik's a guy that really understands, embraces our culture, and it's nice to have him back. He's had a kind of a nagging foot injury, so he's been in and out of practice, but great attitude, and he was on that team that was in the Final Four. And so he's a guy with experience, older, that we need to remind these younger guys what's important, what's not, and what it takes to have that team unity. So, yeah, he's been great.
We saw flashes last year from Kevin O'Banner shooting the ball, being great underneath. How big of a part is he going to be for this year's offense?
Well, last year, KO's strength was his three-point shooting and his offensive rebounding, and he's worked so hard this summer on putting the ball on the floor, creating his own shot. And, again, I think y'all have to see for yourself, but we just think he's so much better than he was last year on the offensive end. And then, defensively, he came in like a lot of guys, not really bought into defense and put more pressure on himself and emphasis on the offensive side. And I thought he was a really good defensive player late in the season and being able to guard out on the floor and take charges and do all those things we asked. So he's a more complete player than he was last year, and he needs to he's going to have to contribute more being the only starter back.
Coach, Davion Harmon comes in from Oregon. How big is it to have a veteran guard like that for the team in general and for the younger guys?
It's huge. Davion, he's got a lot of experience. He started 2 years at Oklahoma, then at Oregon. So you've got another veteran that's got high D1 experience. The other great thing about Davion is got this, just a great personality, and it's infectious. When he's on and off the floor, he's just got this bubbly personality and makes everybody feel better about themselves and smiles, and everybody smiles with him. And so his personality is important. His leadership will be as well. But he's a warrior, and he has come in and bought in and been coachable. And he'll be a key ingredient to the success of this team.
And speaking of newcomers, Demarion Williams, just maybe talk a little bit about how he's
You guys are looking at notes. You're going to have to learn a lot of new names, which I had to this summer. But Demarion's one of our first signees, and you know, he has Division I experience and shot 39% from the three-point line. And, you know, you're looking back, we were one of our weaknesses, we didn't shoot the three ball very well. So we brought in guys like Demarion, and he can really shoot it. And then Corwin Walton, if you know, look at his resume and what he did at North Carolina, I think he broke a lot of the records as a freshman from the three-point line. He's probably our best three-point shooter, but he's more athletic than we thought, and he's got good size, and so, you know, our intention was to get guys that can shoot the threes, and so we've got a whole team that can actually shoot threes.
Mark, I know you talked a lot about the guards. Have you kind of seen anyone step into that point guard, or do you kind of feel like you're going to have guard by position again?
Yeah, I was going to mention that with Davion. We haven't had really a true point guard or even really good combo guards maybe since back to Keenan Evans. You know, of course, Matt Mooney was another one, but we've got 3 or 4 guys that can play the point or the combo guard. You know, we have good guards, it always makes the coach look better, you know, and I need the help. So, but we'll be much more efficient because these guys will, you know, their decision making is a little bit better, and you know, they can make some passes that we couldn't make last year to get guys open. So, you know, we may put 2 or 3 combo guards out there this year, but yeah, we're excited what we've seen, and then we're really looking forward to getting Pop back on the floor on Monday.
In terms of Pop, I guess what was the timeline for him, and what was the injury? And I guess just along those lines with your guards, what are you kind of expecting from them?
You know, his injury was, you know, just nearly identical to Clarence's, and about time they got hurt, and he worked extremely hard in his rehab, and he's back 2 or 3 weeks earlier than what we had projected. But you know, Pop's an exciting player. I mean, you know, if he's anything like he was in high school, he just reads the floor well and has. You know, he's just elite at coming off ball screens and getting guys open. And the other thing about Pop Isaacs, that he's a scorer. He can shoot the three and very consistent from outside. And so, you know, it's he's got a lot of upside. Of course, he'll have to make that adjustment with competition and playing on the other end. But so far, so good.
In terms of the offense, and this will be the last question for me. In terms of what you have with Fardaws and KO, do you kind of feel like there's a lot of interesting things that you can do with the screen and rolls with those guys, especially with their three-point shooting now?
Yeah, it makes our team unique with 2 big guys, 2 7-footers that we can do things with on both ends of the floor. Certainly can help us on the defensive end, but especially with the guy like Fardaws who can shoot the three, a lot like Bryson, we can stretch the defense and make their center come out and guard, which opens up the lane to drive. But you know, we're changing a few things, but it's fun. It gives us a little bit more flexibility with having those 2 big guys and playing them at the same time.
Coach Adams, what did you learn in year 1 that you think will really help you in year 2 here as a head coach?
Well, that's a loaded question. You know, I do think that what I've learned is just to have a lot of faith in that you know, God's going to take care of me. He's in control, and I'm going to do the very best I can. And so blessed to be the head coach here. And I'm reminded every day. I have so much encouragement when people come up and saying nice things about our program and being here at West Texas. You know, if I've learned anything, it's just appreciate the good people out here and the great team we had last year, and I hope that we can put a team on the floor that'll be as competitive. But I'll still have the same coaching philosophy. We're going to fight every game, and we're going to play defense, and hopefully that it'll make our fan base proud of the way we play.
Okay, maybe a bit of a lighter question now. What do you think gives Tech such an advantage in recruiting, whether it be freshmen from out of the country or transfers from like smaller conferences?
Well, you know, there's a combination of things. I mean, it starts with our fans and we're building a legacy here, a tradition here, not only about winning, but we have great fan support at home, being 18-0 last year. We have a great student section, and these are all things that help us recruit the top players that we can win, hopefully, a national championship with. Our social media is off the chart there, and so, you know, anytime you have this type of success, and I think we're still like the third winningest team in the NCAA tournament over the last 3 years. So winning's a big part of it. But players want to go to, you know, to a program where they can not just show off their talents, but they want to win, and they want to be in a program that prepares them for the next level, and that's on both sides of the floor. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things, and surprisingly, a lot of kids want to come here to, you know, be in a defensive program that values, you know, the other side of the end, where you're not just shooting and getting all those accolades from guys like y'all, but guys that appreciate defense. So I need some more help out of this group here to write more stories on guys taking charges and getting on the floor and getting deflections. Pete, are you paying attention to that? Okay. All right. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Good seeing everybody.